What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BrianDaddy coming at you with another video today. We have the Temple of the Jade Serpent. Jump right into it. You're going to Wismari. Here's the trash. You have a fallen water speaker that's going to cast Hydro Lance on random party members. Make sure you interrupt it. They also cast Tidal Burst, which deals a lot of group damage, as you can see right there. Make sure you get that interrupted if you can as well, or stunned. Corrupt Droplets will continuously cast Splash, which deals party-wide damage as well. The Corrupt Living Waters also place Surging Deluge on the floor. It deals damage and knocks players back inside it when it detonates. They also cast Tainted Ripple, which places a large dot on anyone within line of sight of them. So if possible, you want to go ahead and kind of use LOS around that corner in the hallway. Alrighty. And now we go ahead and head towards Wismari here. His abilities are Wash Away, which causes the boss to cast a beam of water and spin around the room. Do not get caught by this ability. It will kill you, unless if you are insane with a defensive and a healing pot or whatever, your healer's nuts. It will kill you. On pull, make sure you pop Heroism and do all your offensive cooldowns. As well, he has a Corrupted Geyser, which causes water in the room to pulse. Every third pulse, it will erupt and knock you up if you're caught in it, dealing a large of damage as well. This is a combination with Wash Away, can easily kill someone if you're caught up, and then, as you can see, I almost got hit by his Wash Away because I got knocked up. So keep an eye out. Make sure you do not get knocked up at a bad time. DPS, a Corrupted Vortex needs to be taken out to the edge of the room. As you can see, we did as I did there. Once you drop it on the outside of the room, it gives you plenty of space on the inside to deal damage. Healers, pay attention to players that get Corrupted Vortex on them, as it will instantly deal a tick of damage when it drops, so they're going to need a little spot heal. And DPS, make sure you get out of it as quickly as possible. And do all of that while making sure you are rotating yourself around the room and not getting knocked up, and you'll kill Wismari, no problem. Alright, after you kill him, you're going to be stuck in combat for a little bit, so you're going to want to make sure you sprint your way towards the next area, which is going to be towards Lorewalker Stonestep. This area has loads and loads of trash. I'm not going to take the time to sit here and name all of them, but I will put it up on screen. Make sure you interrupt things and make sure you stay out of the front of the mobs. Most of them have cleaves and most of them have interrupts. Just play smart and do your best to stay away from the front and interrupt as much as you can, stun as much as you can. Your job as a DPS is to always make the tank and the healer's job easier. Okay? And you do that by stuns, CCs, interrupts, and doing lots of damage quickly as possible, moving through the dungeon faster, and helping them out. If you're able to do that, you can carry lower geared healers and tanks quite well, especially if your tank is smart and knows how to continue to keep moving, and your healer is smart as well and knows how to keep up with the tank. That's how you do these mythic pluses and you get the +3 chest times. You have to always be moving. This group, they were solid. The tank was pretty good. A few of the DPS players were a little suspect, but you know, it's early on in the expansion. People are still learning their classes and these dungeons that they haven't ran in a long time. So it's totally understandable. Alright, you got this Sha here. I went ahead and interrupted that scream. I believe that does fear you. Make sure you get an interrupt on that fear. Coming up next, you come to the Crybaby Hosen, which actually uses a Fit of Rage, which is like an enrage that can be soothed. And he uses Tears of Pain, which causes swirls to appear randomly around the area. So make sure you soothe him and do that. There's also the Golden Beetle here, which hits the tank really hard with Staggering Blow and causes him to have 10% reduced max health every stack. He also shields himself with a Golden Barrier, which explodes on the whole group when it breaks. So, tank, make sure you use some cooldowns once you get to this beetle. And everybody, you know, use defensives, help your healers. You can see there, the tank just went ahead and already started to engage the boss fight. He's moving forward, and I like it. Alright, now we're moving on to Lorewalker Stonestep. This fight, relies on your group having decent coordination, making sure that you are single target damaging each boss. It is a little difficult if you have a class like myself where you can't help but cleave because every ability you do cleaves, but that's fine. So Intensity is a ticking group-wide damage spell that happens whenever Strife or Peril takes damage, and it keeps stacking. And the spell ramps in damage with each stack. Feeling of Superiority is a damage buff that players receive randomly. It can be passed by standing near someone as the debuff expires. So pay attention if you have that Feeling of Superiority buff. It deals heavy damage when you have it, but grants you 25% increased damage. Agony is a random cast that deals moderate damage, and Dissipation causes the bosses to deal less damage the longer the group goes without dealing damage to them. Healers, this fight is extremely difficult for you. You're going to want to make sure that you are popping cooldowns, doing your AoE heals. Hopefully your group knows how to kind of stack up and stay close. Just make sure you do, you're on the ball, you're quicker with it, and you'll do fine. And after you go ahead and clear out those guys, now you're going to be heading towards Liu Flameheart. The trash on your way to her is, again, more Sha-type trash. You're going to have Shambling Infestors, Sha-touched Guardians, Depraved Mistweavers, and Minions of Doubt. The Infestors will frequently cast Summon Sha, which summons a bunch of lesser Shas, and they explode when they die, so make sure you can group all those up, AoE them down, and get out of the explosion. He also has a frontal cone, Flames of Doubt, wherever the tank is facing it. So tank, make sure your group doesn't get hit with that frontal cone. Moving forward, Sha-touched Guardians actually use a leg sweep, which stuns everyone around them in melee and deals a lot of damage. So you can see once we get to that point, I do kind of keep myself in like a medium range situation where I don't get too close, so that way I don't get stunned. Depraved Mistweavers will randomly cast Touch of Ruin on players at range, which will put a healing absorb on them and cause detonation around them when it's healed off. Defiling Mist is their other cast, which must be interrupted or it will channel on and kill a random party member. So, Defiling Mist from the Mistweaver, make sure you interrupt that. Minion of Doubt causes swirls to spawn around them with Shattered Resolve, and hit the tank with Dark Claw for bonus shadow damage. There are a lot of packs in this room. Our group had some difficulty with it. If you die, do not release, because you are going to have to run all the way around, because this door is not open yet. So I would recommend using battle reses and waiting for them to finish combat so your healer can revive you, because the runbacks will end up chalking away at your time for Mythic Plus. The main thing with the trash here is just, again, same old things. Do what you can to help your healer and your tank, stun, all that good stuff. Avoid taking damage, pop your defensives, pop your heals. It goes a long way to helping your entire group be more successful. And here you can see the Depraved Mistweaver and the Sha-touched Guardian. He tried doing the leg sweep there, and they also do the Setting Sun Kick. It applies basically a Mortal Strike effect to your tank. So make sure, as a melee, you don't get hit by that as well. There's that leg sweep. I made sure I stayed out of it. And then I stunned him. So, yeah, just doing a good job of not getting stunned and then stunning them back. And there you go. Now we're on to Liu Flameheart. This fight is split into 3 phases. It's between 170, 70 and 30, 30 and 0. The first 2 phases are basically the same, with the last phase being the transformation phase. Phase 1, she's going to do Serpent Strike and Serpent Kick. Strike does heavy tank damage and should be mitigated in some form. Serpent Kick causes flame balls to shoot out in 4 directions around the boss and travel quickly for 30 yards, and she also spawns a circle underneath her which will deal damage and knock anyone back inside of it. Now you can see she's in phase 2, Jade Serpent Kick, Jade Serpent Strike, and Jade Essence. Now, once she reaches 30%, which will be pretty shortly here, she's going to go ahead and transform into the Jade Dragon. You're going to have Jade Fire, which causes the boss to spit a puddle randomly at a ranged target, dealing damage if they're caught in it and knocking them back. And then you have Jade Fire Breath, which causes the boss to breathe in a cone in a random direction. Pay attention to the fire on the ground. Pay attention to the flame cone. Make sure you don't get hit by the bad. Do your damage. You shouldn't have hero here. You might have hero available, or bloodlust, whatever you like to call it. Don't use it here because you're going to want to use it for the last boss. Now you're going to get to this Sha of Doubt trash. This stuff is majorly dangerous. Our group had a lot of difficulty here because you can see we were going to do quite well. We were going to finish this with a +2. But they had some difficulties here. There's Sha-touched Guardians, Depraved Mistweavers. The Guardians use Wake Sleep again, which stuns anyone around them. But then you also have the Mistweavers, which cast the Touch of Ruin on players at range. They need to be interrupted. There's also 3 new packs. One pack includes 2 Fallen Water Speakers and a Depraved Mistweaver. Another includes a Sha-touched Guardian and a Depraved Mistweaver. And the final pack includes a Shambling Infester, a Haunted Sha, and 3 Minions of Doubt. That final pack, you're going to want some major cooldowns when you pull that, because it is not easy. Again, as I've said, I'll reiterate, use your abilities. Healing, stun, defensive, health stones, pots. Okay? If you're doing difficulties relative to how you are, if a +2 is difficult to you, yes, use everything to your disposal. If a +10 is difficult to you, use everything at your disposal. Just, do your best. Again, the main goal is have fun. And Mythic Plus has been a very fun thing for me. I think it is a good thing for a lot of, I will put the quotation marks, casual player, because a lot of players who don't have guilds or friends that play consistently can get a group of people to play Mythic Plus with them. So I find it to be a lot of fun. I'm already, I believe, the #1 shaman on my server for enhancement. So that's pretty cool. I've already ran every dungeon at about a +8 or +9. And I'm looking forward to just pushing harder. Alrighty, let's move to the Sha of Doubt. Sha of Doubt has the ability Nothingness, which is a pulsing group-wide damage effect that must be healed through. He also has Wither Will, which randomly debuffs 2 party members with a huge dot and must be dispelled by the healer. And then you have the ability Bounds of Reality, which causes the boss to walk to the center, go immune, and spawn an ad out at each player. Each ad must be killed before the boss is targetable again. The group should stack together during this phase. You can see here, way too spread out. There's an ad on every single side of the boss right now. Ideally, you guys want to go ahead and stack up. That way you can AoE, stun, cleave, get them all dead extremely quickly. You can see our healer and Boomkin here were split up, thus causing that phase to take way longer than it should have. Healer, make sure you pay attention to the second target of Wither Will, as they will require extra attention when you're not able to dispel right away. And this fight is very healing intensive from the start to the finish due to nothingness, so be prepared to always watch for players that are dropping low. Pop defenses, pop your cooldowns, and you guys will kill the Sha of Doubt and get yourself some epic loot at the end. One other little min-max tip I could teach you guys here. If you're a tanking the Sha of Doubt here, if you actually pull him away from the center of the room, maybe you go up the stairs or to the left or the right, it's actually going to take him time to walk to the center of the room, and then that time will actually give you guys time to either group up or continue damaging him. So just those little, min-max extra little seconds here and there can really help out if you guys are all able to group up. Kill those ads very quickly. Alrighty guys, that's it from me. This is your Temple of Jade Serpent guide +9. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!